We will move on now, go across the country to Jarna Kendle from NACC NRM, and she's going to talk to us about Carna'bee hollow management for Carnaby's cockatoos and how we can protect a limited resource. So, Jarna, if you're able to share your screen, we'll hand over to you. Thank you. And you're on mute just in case. Pick that one up.
Is my screen sharing?
We can't see it just yet. That is coming up now. Perfect. If you just want to go on to the slideshow mode.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, skipped ahead. Sorry, my notes have skipped ahead. Has yours skipped ahead as well?
We're on the welcome screen with your title. No, so that we're good.
That's right. I have them printed, so I'll read this and then go to my notes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jarna Kendle, and I'm the Biodiversity Program Coordinator for NACC NRM in the Northern Agricultural Region of Western Australia. My short presentation today is focused on our National Heritage Trust funded project called Protecting WA's Black Cockatoos. Carnabees are a much loved and iconic West Australian species, and if you visit our capital city, Perth, you're likely to hear the distinct call or even spot them flying overhead to one of their favourite roost sites. In the Northern Ag region where I work, Carnabees rely on more than one endangered ecosystem during their annual migration. This is the foraging grounds located on the Swan Coastal Plain and their breeding sites in the eucalypt woodlands of the WA wheatbelt. For those of you unfamiliar with Carnabees, they're a large, long-lived, charismatic black cockatoo endemic to the southwest of WA. Carnabees are monogamous and form a lifelong bond with their chosen partner. Carnabees are sexually dimorphic, and in this photo you can see the male has a red eye ring and a dark bill, whereas the female has a bright white cheek patch and a light grey bill. Their main food source is the seeds of Banksia, Hapia, Eucalyptus and Grevillea, but they've also learnt to introduce foods like canola, pine cones, double Gs and pig melons. Carnabees exhibit maternal breeding site fidelity, meaning that they like to return to the same patch of woodland each year to breed. If Carnabees successfully raise their nestling in a hollow, they like to keep it each year, but if the chick fails, they'll blame the hollow rather than their parenting skills and look for a new one. So for successful proliferation of this species, good hollows are critical and the site must have food and water within a 6-kilometre radius. The wheatbelt where Carnabees breed is considered one of the most modified bioregions in Australia and is roughly 85% cleared of native vegetation, with some shires even up to 95% cleared. This means that hollows the right size, shape and location are hard to come by. Carnabees are in a housing crisis. As a double hit, they are also in the midst of a building timeframe crisis. A natural hollow the right size and shape can take more than 130 years to build. Unfortunately, this lack of hollows means competition is a serious threat for Carnabees. Carnabees are pretty placid and don't tend to squabble over a hollow. So more aggressive species like corellas or galahs will snap up any prime real estate without much fuss. Another major threat that came to light last breeding season is the predation of breeding age birds by feral cats at Camallo Creek. Camallo is the longest monitored breeding site for Carnabees, and researchers recorded 6 adult Carnabees and 11 nestlings and eggs predated on by feral cats. From this site, and more broadly, the loss of breeding age birds is a real concern due to their slow reproduction rate and mature breeding age of 4 years. Compounded by predation and competition, habitat loss is a single major concern for Carnabees, and this is why we tend to focus on managing these limited assets. Some of the management activities we have undertaken include the installation of artificial hollows, and these have been fantastic. The Carnabees love them, and the competitor species are less inclined to use them. We also have evidence that Carnabees are choosing them over natural hollows. But artificial hollows are not a set and forget solution. and if they aren't kept in good working order, they can become a liability and can even cause accidental deaths. Annual inspections help us keep them up to code with the odd renovation required every couple of years. Another approach that we've found to be very worthwhile is restoring natural hollows back to good working order, and these modern redevelopments are usually snapped up by Carnaby families as quick as they become available. This evidence strongly suggests that hollow availability is limiting the ability of Carnabys to reproduce. This is why we're focusing on habitat management. For this new Carnaby project and the biosecurity aspect of my presentation, we are attempting to identify and control feral bees and hollows. During our previous breeding surveys, we have noticed a large number of feral bees using tree hollows at all of our monitored breeding sites. To identify the hollows impacted by feral bees, we're using the Ecological Monitoring System Australia's Fauna Ground Count protocol. So far, we have targeted 3 of our known breeding sites, and all 3 have had feral bees recorded in hollows. We're still learning to use EMSA, so I don't have the hive location data here for you today. Another key approach for our project is to engage First Nations people wherever we can. With the feral bee control, we are working with Sam, who is a Yamaji man and a licensed pest management technician. Sam has recently been endorsed by the Yamaji Southern Regional Corporation as one of their recommended Aboriginal businesses, and we are assisting him to build his professional network and capacity within our region. We currently add biosecurity into our projects where we can, but like all environmental activities, there is room for improvement. Biosecurity can always be better resourced, offer more science-based options for end users, and provide better community engagement. NACC recognises that we play an important role in the delivery of biosecurity, as do the stakeholders here today, who are all part of the broader network that can advocate for and achieve protection and restoration for Australia's incredible environmental assets. Thanks for listening, and any questions?
Thanks, Jarna. That's fantastic. An amazing piece of work on some critically threatened species.